Alrighty, what's going on, Eric, man? Jumping onto your weekly check-in, man. Seeing how you've been going for this last week. Firstly, number one goal at the moment is obviously to remain focused on diet, training, clean living, just this new healthy outlook on life and that. So keeping that always as a long-term focus. So you're doing this not for the short term. You're doing this obviously for the rest of your life, to make the rest of your life the best of your life, essentially. Wicked, working on your arms and stomach and that as well, so being content with your body image as well, and just keep kind of having that, I love that mentality of 1% better. So every single week we're just trying to get that a little bit better. We're just trying to improve that a little bit more. When we do that, we're just going to be amazed by what we can accomplish over a certain amount of time as well. No tape measure this week, so we might not have had that at work and that. Maybe would always recommend for my FIFO boys, for boys that work away, always maybe have one kept at work, then one kept at home and stuff as well, just so we can have those stats. Weight's looking good though, so we're seeing like a gradual decrease obviously coming down as well. You have started tracking this week, which is a massive win as well, so I'm very excited to go through that with you today. Bright spots for ourselves, 3 training sessions, which is wicked. I love the fact that like you were hitting the 2s before and it was kind of inconsistent, but now you're starting to really nail the 3s, and that's becoming a massive habit for you as well, which is good to see. Some good walks as well, and another alcohol-free week. That's insane. That's so good, man. So that's a massive win. Cigarettes are obviously down, and the alcohol's down as well, so that's wicked. What you've struggled with this last week was snacks like biscuits and a little bit of smoking. I spoke too soon, that's okay. You cutting the alcohol will make you want to go to something else, so just be aware of that, especially. Cravings worse now after 8 weeks off them. You are like you have done so bloody good stepping away from cigarettes, coming off cigarettes as well. What I might add going forward is a section here to track your smoking as well, because I want to know exactly how many you're having week by week to keep you accountable, to keep the win that we're having coming off it, keep that going. So I'll add that to the section as well. How many healthy eating days? 3 out of 7. So that's days without any food rares. That's having breakfast, lunch, and dinner. How many workouts for the week was 3, which is wicked. That's what we want to be hitting. Good work on arms, but more reps than heavy weights. We'll slowly build up weights, getting PBs every session though. That's awesome. This is a big focus as well, is like keep focusing on getting stronger. This is why the app is so good to track. If you're doing the same weights every single week, you're likely going to stay exactly the same. So we're trying to push the body. We're trying to basically promote enough stimulus to require muscle growth, and that is through intensity of the workouts. That's always very, very important. 3 sessions outside, which is walking and cycling, beautiful. So that's 6 workouts, man. That's awesome. So 6 workouts for the week. Very much just starting to live into a healthy and active lifestyle, which is good to see. 80% success for nutrition, so need to be doing that with protein intake. Felt quite nauseous and lightheaded this week due to tiredness, but also I think low protein. I'll have a look at your macros and stuff shortly as well, just give you a bit more feedback on where that should be sitting. Rares were Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Sunday, so a couple days here. We definitely want to be getting aware of what the trigger is to the biscuits. If you're hungry and that's the trigger to having the biscuits, if you're going like not eating food, so say you're not eating breakfast, not eating morning tea, and then lunchtime you're obviously faced with biscuits, you are going to eat biscuits. It's all about managing your hunger by eating frequent meals. So you probably heard that before, as in like people that obviously want to lose body fat, they want to eat frequent meals, and the main reason for that, like it's obviously great to help them with their protein intake, help them regulate their blood sugar, but it's especially great to help them with their appetite. Okay, so that would be a big focus for us. If we find ourselves craving more food, chances are we're not actually eating enough of the right things at the right time. So I want you to really practice having breakfast, morning tea, lunch, afternoon tea, dinner, just getting really accustomed to frequent eating, and you'll be less likely to want things like that as well. Beautiful thing about tracking as well, real quick as well, so if you do have biscuits, if you put it into your budget, you're going to be okay. Obviously, if we're only having biscuits and you've got bugger all protein, that's going to cause a lot of issue. But just be aware of like the beautiful thing about tracking is if you do have something like a couple biscuits and you keep it to your budget, you're going to be fine. So it doesn't have to be this binge or this all or nothing or this broken mentality where you feel like you've buggered everything up. So that's always something we say, track it and you're going to be okay. How many drink rares? No drink rares, beautiful. Cravings, a little bit of craving with the biscuits and stuff as well. So this week we're going to basically initiate just a bit more frequent meals to control your appetite. And then once again, say yes to having a biscuit or two, but then just track it into your day, so you're not having to then binge after and then have it something that's about based on emotion. Quick story as well. So I had one of my girls loves ice cream, so like she loves ice cream. She would binge all the time on ice cream. When she started with us after the first month, I was like, okay, I need to do something about this, because she was having it literally every day. She'd have a good 1,000 calories worth of ice cream. For her, I got her a high protein, a low calorie ice cream, and basically I told her that she has to eat this every single night. What happened there is basically she moved to a different variation that was a lot healthier, and then because she was now allowed it, she didn't feel the need to binge on it, and then naturally she actually started to then reduce it over time, and now she has ice cream maybe like twice a week, if that. But it's interesting how we have that sort of fixation when we're not allowed to have it. Alcohol too, beautiful, and we have water 2 to 3 liters. Breakfast is 4 to 7, so we definitely want to work on this here. If you're not having something to eat to start the day off that's successful, this will likely lead into cravings that will cause these binges here as well. So just being aware of that. Sleep is a bit low as well, so this is something for yourself. It's going to take us a bit of time to work on this, but it's something that's going to get better and better over time. You training, you should find yourself starting to sleep a bit better. Now you're going to be more physically exhausted as well. 12,000 steps is beautiful, that's absolutely killer. And then we're going to have a look at your tracking as well. Based on previous answers, you can buy some protein supplements. 100% would recommend doing that as well. Basically anything that's going to not break the bank, and it's pretty much pure protein. You can try a whey protein first, which is dairy based. If it doesn't agree with your stomach though, do not go whey protein. Try like a pea based protein, a plant based protein instead. If you know you have issues with dairy, just go straight for like the plant based protein. Any supplement store you go to, you can basically ask them what would you recommend, and they'll tell you straight away. Reduce fat intake and strive for more training sessions. Awesome. And then general stretching exercises to keep mobile, especially at work. The meal tracking is fantastic. Let's go through this now as well. And this is something we're working on now as well, is just adding like a bit of a stretch database as well, because it's quite common, especially for FIFO boys, that they do want to have something quick and fast for their stretches. Let's have a squiz at your tracking though, man. Alrighty, mate, so good. I love this. Please take another shot of progress photos for us now as well. Reason why I want you to do that now is we're just starting to get into the tracking, which is the exciting bit. This here as well, I always say, if you're not tracking, you're just guessing. As soon as I get you guys tracking, it's a whole different level, whole different door that we open up. So this is really exciting. Main thing for ourselves, so looking at here from Monday to Sunday, we've got 4 successful days. When I review this, we're looking at kind of how many days through the week do you hit those targets, how many days are you successful, basically hitting those markers. So 4 out of 7 is a really good startup for a very first time doing this. This week we're going to aim for 5 out of 7. And what I want you to practice as well, I want to practice no spillover days. So trying to limit these days here. These days when you're in window, so you see how you're in the calorie window, when you're yellow, you're basically building muscle and you're going to be losing body fat at the same time. These days when you're well over, this is a fat gain day. This day here, so say for yesterday, if you only had 700 calories, you're way off the marker for your calories. This is a muscle loss day as well. So we need to be aware of what we do with our calories will dictate exactly what happens with the movement of our body. Definitely more protein as well. So we want to be aiming for that 170. So this here window is 10% window, so it's going to be between like 150 to 180 grams. And that's where we want to start really getting you to hit as well. 100 grams, like 100 to 120, that's more for like the female target. We definitely want to be that 170 above though. And it's going to be mostly the easiest way to do that is just increase your portions of meat, and you'll find that jump up pretty quickly as well. So feedback as well. Obviously 4 successful eating days for your calories. We're going to aim for 5 plus. We're going to remove the spillover days, and then we're also going to really push that protein as close as we can to the 170. So we want to be in the male target for protein. Also, the biggest point as well for this week would be looking at those cravings, giving yourself a biscuit a day even, but tracking it, putting it into your budget, not obviously going into the emotional spillover of thinking like we've broken everything and we're fucked up. We want to basically have one a day and then move on from it, and then kind of put that to your budget though, and you'll see a lot more results because of that. Other than that, man, it's just the sleep. We've got to keep working on that sleep, but I'm really, really happy, and I'm stoked we're already starting to track. Very, very happy with that. You should be stoked with that as well, man. Any questions, shoot us a message, but really solid week overall. Legend.